we are good.
First practice in, how was it?
It was good. I thought it was really competitive. I think that's something that we have this year that we didn't have in the past is just more depth, more guys competing, for playing time. So, you have a lot to learn, obviously. But I think a lot of people are going to have better first practices because of the change of the rules and allowing us to do things in the summer. And so there's more of a transition into your season. So it's probably the best first practice we've had.
Do you feel like those extra practices are going to help, especially when you have all the new guys you have coming in?
I think it helps at the start of practice. We'll see. Everybody's going to be the same. It's all relative. So you're going to be able to, a month down the road, be in the same position as you were before. I like the fact that you can take a couple days off a week with the new rules. I don't think you're wearing them down as much. You're eventually going to get to the grind of a season. But I think as you grow into it, I think it'll help. And hopefully it can help with injuries, across the country.
How's Jay look to you so far?
He looks good. He last year as the season progressed, and he started to get healthy, at the very end of it or whatever, you don't run as much in practice to save everybody's legs who are playing. And Jay's really good in the half court. That's his strength. So, you just got to keep pushing him to his wall. He's in the best shape he's been in, but he's still got a ways to go. And just trying to get him to be able to play extended minutes, but also be efficient.
How's he been working to get past that footing point?
He's been okay. For him, it's always been a multiple effect. With the high blood pressure, the asthma, the foot, and so just trying to get everything taken care of and just trying to progress.
Compare where you are now as opposed to where you were this same time last year. How do you?
Well, we have more experience. Obviously, the three freshmen who played and started for us last year, and then Jay obviously set out. But just the experience of going through some of the struggles last year, hopefully it made us better that time. But the one thing that jumps out is the depth, and we're more experienced. But you can't say you're unbelievably experienced, considering you have two seniors that have been here for 4 years, other two seniors that have been here for 4 months, and then you have no juniors in your program.
Intensity too? Do you feel like there's
Yes,
higher
I felt like today, but it's one practice, so time will tell.
How about do you feel like you've got all three freshmen going to help you?
Yes.
You probably won't redshirt anybody.
No, I wouldn't think so, unless something would jump out from a medical standpoint. I wouldn't think any.
Kendall's okay though.
Yes. What's held him back here in the fall has been a sprained ankle, not his shoulder. His shoulder's been fine, so he's been able to, get into the swing of things. But you can still see he's a little bit behind from a conditioning standpoint. But he's going to be a good player. He gives us something that we need in terms of a good, three-point shooter.
Can you play Big AJ and Jay together?
I think they'll decide that. I wouldn't answer that. I think Jay can move his feet and guard for us.
That's what I mean.
And there's no doubt he has the physical ability to do it. But he's got to show that he can do it consistently. And I think when it comes down to big guys, it comes down to defending and being able to trust them. Can you carry out your assignment, not guarding the biggest guy on the court.
You have other options at that floor, though.
No, right? We have a lot of options. We're going to traditionally play smaller
than
we have not really in the past, but with Raphael and with Basil Smotherman and with Eric Peck, I think we have a lot of guys where we can go small and then have a huge post and somebody you can throw the ball to, and AJ, or Jay. And then when you play Travis, you can mix Travis in that mix. He's going to be the guy that's going to stretch it out.
Matt, what do you need from the two full-time guys, from Ray as well as Bryson?
Just what they've been doing, just playing. I think they bring an intensity to our program. They compete. Basketball means something to them. And, just keep making improvements, keep getting better. I think Raphael knows what he's doing now, and that helps him play harder. Bryson, I think the summer was very good for him. But him just picking up our system. But the one thing with Bryson is you just want him, you want to put him in position to go full throttle. And then just try to educate him offensively and defensively, kind of the cans and the can'ts, with your system.
Is there anything about the way last season went that kind of affects the way you kind of handle your teams from here on out, whether it be from a basketball standpoint or from maturity?
Well, you're always trying to get your guys to be accountable, but you're also trying to give them a little bit of a crutch when they haven't been through it before. For a lot of these guys now, they've been through it. So, just holding them, and they've done a better job. So we're in a better position last year. But you also learn things about each individual guy. but then also expect more from them.
I know it's only been one practice, but we talked a lot last year about when guys needed to sit on the bench, you didn't have the option sometimes to put them on the bench. After one practice, do you feel like you have those out?
Yeah, and I think in every position, Sterling Carter's been great so far. He can pressure the basketball, he can make a shot. He's going to give some competition there at that spot along with Bryson. At that two-guard spot with Tyrone and Ronnie. Bryson's going to play both spots. Bryson's going to play the point, some two. So you get those competition right there. You have Raphael, you have Basil, you have Kendall Stevens at the 2-3 kind of spot. So we got a lot of interchangeable parts and a lot of competition. And we talked about the bigs earlier. We have depth with 3 guys that can play the 5. Jake and Swingo can play the 4 some. So I think across the board, even though we only have 11 scholarship players, we have 11 guys going in that have a chance to play a lot of minutes.
What's this potential defensively?
Well, I think defensively we're really good. I think we can put a lot of pressure on the ball. I think Sterling's going to help us in that area. Bryson's going to help us in that area. And then those undersized guys, Peck, Basil, Raphael, playing those 3-4 slots, I think they're going to really help us pressure other people's big guys. So I think we can be really good defensively.
You just see something kind of different from Hammonds and Simpson, just the way they carry themselves.
Well, I think I've seen something different in terms of they can put themselves in better shape. They can stay up, with the game now. They're not always behind plays. I'm not saying they're in the best shape in the world, but they both came in around 280, 285. They're both at 250. And so their ability to run and be in a stance and help us on the defensive end, I think, is major improvements for them. But we just got to do a good job of keeping those guys healthy. But also keeping them working hard, hitting the glass, running the court, just doing the basic necessities that big man needs to do to be successful.
You know what I'm getting at, kind of from an urgency standpoint.
No doubt.
Just the way they're handling it.
Well, I think the one thing that we all talk about with players and their development, we always talk about scoring. And I just stay away from it. If they embrace the physicality of the game, they're going to get deep post position. If they embrace the physicality of the game on the defensive end, they're going to keep guys from getting deep post position. If they run the court every single time, they crash the glass every single time. So for them, it's just the effort and consistency. If they can have that right there, they have the talent, they have the body.